So this is part one of how my friends and I got jumped by our friend's family after her funeral. And before I start, I just want to say long live Lottie. You know, we was locked in before she died. We locked in after, regardless of how her family treated us, regardless of what they did to us. Forever long live Lottie. So we're just going to start out by the day that I found out that she even passed. Me, Lottie, and Kiara, we were a trio out here in Houston. We bought a girl together at this club called Penthouse. That's how we even met. We started off as friends. We ended as family. We got so close. Like, it was crazy. We did everything together. Lottie ended up moving back to Detroit. You know how it is. When you move away from home, you get kind of homesick. So she ended up moving back home. We always stayed in contact though. Like, she always called us, told us she missed us, that she's going to come visit soon. She wanted us to come to Detroit. Like, we always stayed in contact. So February 20th, which is the day that she died, Kiara ended up calling me. You know, she's hysterical, she's crying, and you know, she ended up telling me that basically Lottie passed away. So we knew of her other friends that she used to hang around, but we never like all like hung out for real. Like, her passing kind of brought us together, and their names was Jaden and Tyann. So we ended up basically all four of us keeping in contact, you know, saying that we should all go to the funeral, which I was already thinking anyways that I was going to go, because I'll travel however many miles to show someone that, you know, I genuinely was their friend. I loved them. So at this time, Kiara is cool with Lottie's little sister. So, you know, they follow each other on Instagram. They're in each other close friends. Kiara was actually talking to the sister because she lives in Detroit. So she was there firsthand, you know, when Lottie passed. So they're talking, they're communicating, they're cool. You know, she's telling Kiara, you know, what happened and, you know, all of this. Like, they're cool at this point. Like, they're cool. So me, Jaden, Tyann, Kiara, we made this group chat together to keep in contact. We end up doing a balloon release for Lottie at her old job named Quotes. And, you know, we did what we had to do to genuinely show her that, you know, we love you and we're truly sad about her passing. So, you know, we did a balloon release, we ate, we shared memories, we talked, we had a videographer there. Like, we came out of pocket, you know, to show her and show her family, like, you know, she wasn't just y'all family, she was ours too. She was family away from home. Like, when she was out here, she knew she had family, she knew she had people to call. So at this point, you know, after all of that, Jaden is actually keeping in contact with Lottie's girlfriend. She stays in Detroit, but we're in Houston at this point, so they're keeping in contact. She's telling Jaden, you know, I'll come get y'all from the airport when y'all land. You know, they're keeping in contact up until the day that we fly out. So when we were looking at flights, we're like, okay, well, you know, if we get this flight, we might miss the funeral. Or, you know, or if we get this flight, we're gonna have to leave the funeral early. Or if we get this flight, we might have to miss the viewing. I'm not a viewing type of person anyways. I knew I was going to the viewing. You know, it's either or for me. I can't do both. So the day of her viewing, the two girls, Jaden and Tyann, they flew in earlier than me and Kiara because we had to work. So the day comes, you know, Jaden and Tyann, they fly in. Mind you, we're all in a group message, so we're knowing what's going on down there before me and Kiara even you know, get on our flight or anything. Mind you, they left way before us. So they're telling us, you know, they're acting weird. You know, they left us at the airport. Mind you, this is just hospitality, period. If your daughter passes and her friends are flying into town thousands of miles away to be there for your daughter, to show love for your daughter, to support your daughter, you would think people would have a little bit of hospitality, just a little remorse. She left the girls there at the airport, told them basically, like, y'all have to find your own ride. Like, I'm coming to pick up the family and the family only. Y'all have to find y'all way. So it's like, damn, like, we treated your daughter like family, and this how you do us during her homegoing? Like, but it's like Lottie already told us how her mom is, so it's like we didn't really expect nothing less. So as me and Kiara getting ready to catch our flight, you know, we rode together. They're texting us, so me and Kiara like, damn, like they already acting like this with them. Like, I can only imagine how they gonna act with us. Like, you know, mind you, y'all, this is our first time meeting them. We don't know them. You know what I'm saying? We know of them because of what our friend told us, but we never met them in person. Like, this is all our first time meeting. So just imagine, first impression is a motherfucker. So our flight ended up leaving at like 3 something. So we didn't land in Detroit till like 6:42ish, 6:50ish, like around that time PM. So we like, okay, we're gonna be on our flight during the viewing time, so y'all just let us know, keep us updated, you know, on what's going on or whatever. We ain't gonna see the text until we land anyways, because we're gonna be in the air. We knew, well, I for sure knew deeply I wasn't going to the viewing. That was already my plan. I don't do viewings. Like, I don't do nobody's viewing. It don't matter who it is. I don't do that. I can't see the body twice. It's like I said earlier, it's either or with me. So I already knew I wasn't going, so it wasn't no problem with me missing it. So we get on our flight, you know, it's a little delay. So they say, you know, we're going to be a little late landing in Detroit. Once again, I'm not tripping because I'm not going to the viewing. Get on our flight, boom, we end up coming into Detroit. I cut my phone on, boom, we getting texts back to back to back from the group message. They telling us what's going on, how the mom was being disrespectful, how she was giving them the cold shoulder, how she just had just been blatantly just disrespectful, like, you know, during the viewing. So it was kind of like, you know, I'm kind of glad I didn't go because I don't have no filter, and I really don't care. We end up having to go to baggage claim, get our bags and everything. So we got off the plane. We end up getting our bags. We probably didn't leave the airport till probably like 7-ish, like probably 7:30, 7:40-ish. The viewing ended at 8. So we just went to our hotel. You know, we started Ubering everywhere because we were hungry. We needed to go to Walmart. We needed to go to Target. Like, we need to go places. So we just get to the hotel, check in, and then we just started Ubering everywhere. Like, everywhere we need to go, because we like clearly we can't call on her family because they didn't even get them from the airport. So I know damn well they're not gonna come get us. So Kiara ended up hitting up one of Lottie's friends that she knew. He stayed in Detroit. He came and got us. You know, he was like, you know, why are y'all Ubering? You know, y'all in my city. Like, you know, I'll take y'all where y'all need to go. So he came and got us. He was real thoughtful. He was really well mannered. Like, and I love him for that. So he's like, do y'all want to go hookah? You know, do y'all want to do something? Or, you know, are y'all just want to go back to the hotel? So I'm like, yeah, like, I want to go somewhere. I need to, you know, get my mind together. You know, if you know me, you know I love a hookah. So I'm like, yeah, like, take us to a hookah spot. So we get to the hookah spot. At this point, Tyann and Jaden, they end up going to Flint, where Tyann is from. So we were kind of separated. They didn't stay at the hotel with us. It was just me and Kiara, and then they did their own little thing. We get to the hookah lounge, and, you know, we're sitting there. We're talking about Lottie. You know, we talking about memories, you know, talking about, you know, just little story times. Like, you know, we just all just having a good time, just talking about her. Kiara ended up posting Lottie's friend on her close friends of him talking, or whatever the case may have been. She posted in her close friends. Mind you, I told y'all earlier that the sister is in Kiara's close friends. So Kiara ends up going to the bathroom, and the little sister, I guess she ended up seeing Kiara's story. So she calls Lottie's friend, and she's like, where's Kiara? I guess she had been calling Kiara, but Kiara had not been answering. So Kiara eventually comes back, and we're like, you know, Lottie's sister want to talk to you. They talk. So Lottie's sister like, did y'all go to the viewing? Mind you, we had posted some flowers that Tyann and Jaden sent in the group message at Lottie's viewing. So they sent us pictures of the viewing flowers, and we reposted it. So Kiara basically told her no, we landed late. And so the sister laughed and hung up the phone. So me and Kiara looking at each other like, what's the problem? Like, even if we wanted to make it, we couldn't have. Our flight landed late. So she then calls Lottie's friend back, and she's going off, woo woo woo, F you and them bitches you with. Excuse my language. Now at this point, you're a little too disrespectful. Comment if you want part 2. Part 2 of how my friends and I got jumped by our friend's family after her funeral. So I left off at the sister called and was like, basically, did y'all go to the viewing? We was like, no, our flight ended too late. She laughed, hung up. She then proceeds to call Lottie's friend back, and she's going in. At this point, he doesn't have the phone on speaker. She's just going in. We could just hear like her screaming or whatever. And then he put it on speaker, and then the last words we heard was, "F you and them bitches you it." This is what we posted that she had to been seen to even make her call. So after that, me and Kiara, like, should we go off on this little girl or she would just like let her live? So I'm telling Kiara, I'm like, Kiara, don't go off on her. You don't want to jeopardize not going to the funeral. You know, you don't want them to be like, oh, well, she can't come, stop you at the door or anything. So I was like, you know what? Don't say nothing to her. Like, just let it die down because you don't want to jeopardize your chances of even making it to the funeral. That was the whole point of us coming out here. So boom, we let that die down. Ended the night, went back to the hotel room, went to sleep. The next day, this is the funeral day. This is the day that we get y'all. So me and Kiara, we put on our all white, which I will drop actually right now, a picture of me and Kiara. This is me and Kiara the day of the funeral. Like, we really put it on. Like, we did not play about our friend. So we over to the funeral, whatever. We get there, the dad's calling us. He's, checking in on us, asking us where we at. Like, the dad is very welcoming. Her brother is very welcoming that we knew. And the aunties and the grandma was, very welcoming. When we got to the funeral, we met Tyan and Jaden there, and we all walked in together. We walked in together. I seen the families, everybody was already sitting down at this point. I could just see them all eyeballing us. So we just ended up going to our seat. The funeral went on. As I'm in the funeral, I'm like, what obituary? Come to find out, her mom was holding y'all the obituaries. I've never seen a funeral where the family is holding the obituary. But you would think that because someone has passed so close to her, like, first of all, you getting an obituary is gonna be the last thing on my mind. My daughter's in this casket in front of you. I don't give a who gets an obituary. So that was kind of like mind blowing. Like, I only seen like people that work for the funeral home or whatever passing obituaries. I never just seen the parent holding the obituaries. I'm talking about holding them like it was money. So clearly we wasn't getting one. Like, we was sitting on a row. We had to ask other people, can we see your obituary? Can we read the obituary? Like, that was just like it was just insane to me. Like, I'm like, wow, like, we really have to wrestle for an obituary. So we end up going up there, saying us some words or whatever, sending our condolences to the family, still being respectful, still saying, we praying for them, we send our deepest condolences to them. Like, we were still being respectful. Funeral ended, we was the last ones to walk out the church. We was still in there crying our eyes out, literally, until they said, hey, y'all, we're clearing it out. Y'all have to go. Like, we were literally the last one standing. We goes outside where everybody is at because they're releasing a dove at this point, the bird. We walks outside. We see the auntie. She speaks to us. She's like, how are we doing or whatever? And she's telling people, these are her friends that travel from Houston or whatever, just trying to get acquainted with everybody. Do y'all know that this lady had to basically sneak us an obituary? She had to get like 4 or 5 obituaries from, I guess, the mom or whatever, so that we can have an obituary. So we're standing there talking, to the auntie or whatever. And don't be like, I see the sisters from the corner of my eye. This is the first time seeing them since the phone call from Kiara the night before when she called us. So I could see her mugging us from the corner of my eye. So I turn and she's like staring us down, mugging us. Now, this is after the funeral. Like, this is actually, we're still at the church. Like, we haven't even made it to the repast yet. And she's already mugging us down. I don't know where y'all from, but I'm from Louisiana. And when you give me a look like that, it clearly means we got a problem. So we all ended up catching it, but I'm still trying to be the peacemaker. I'm like, y'all don't even worry about it. Let's just go to the repast. Let's just have a good time. So they're like, should we go to the repast or should we just go out to eat and do our own little thing? At this point, when everybody's leaving, the dad's calling us, the brother's calling us. They're like, are y'all coming? We want y'all to come. Y'all done came all the way from Houston. Why wouldn't y'all come to her repast? Like, they're adamant on us coming to show our face because they're like, that's love. Like, that y'all traveled this far from Houston to show up for her in Detroit. So after a long conversation of us like really trying to determine if we want to go or not, like we want to go, but we want to, like, if we can avoid confusion, let's just not go. But then again, it's like, damn, we want to go, like we want to show up for y'all. So it. We end up going, get to the repast. At this point, we'd met up with her other friends and we all just walk in the repast together. We walk in, and the first person we see is the little sister, the one that called me and Kiara, when we were with Lottie's friend prior to the night. She's mugging us, like, and I'm not talking about a mug where you don't notice it. Like, she's making sure we know that she's looking at us. And when we lock eyes, you know how someone look at you or mugging you, or they'll probably like look away when you look at them. She's still looking at us. Like, so we're locking eyes at this point because you looking at me, I'm looking at you. What you looking at? So we just looking at each other like we stupid. She starts laughing. At this point, you're picking. Like, come on now, I'm not slow. She does it to all of us. We go to the bathroom. I'm trying to have a pep talk with them. Like, hey y'all, like let's not do this. We at her repast. Let's eat. Let's just have a good time. And it's gone by a day. Our flight is at like 5 a.m. Let's just, show up and get on. Come out the bathroom. We see her dad. He's like, hey, I want to take a picture with y'all. So we like, okay, cool. Someone is taking a picture of us with Light's dad. In the midst of us taking the picture, the sister comes over and grabs the person's phone and was like, we're having family time. Strike number one. Because that was so disrespectful of you to take someone's phone out their hand in the midst of us. Like, y'all, we're literally like posing, smiling, like we're posing. And she comes to take the phone out their hand. That's disrespectful as like. Actually, I wouldn't even say strike one because strike one was when we walked in and she was mugging us, the little sister. Strike two was when the other sister, the big sister, she's big like Oompa Loompa. She comes and takes the phone out the person's hand while we're taking the picture. So that really was strike two. To know me, to know, I try so hard not to say nothing because I'm one of those ones that's going to say something. But I don't care. Like, you're not going to disrespect me. But I try so hard because I'm not trying to be like that at my friend's repast, because I'm in Detroit. I'm in that neck of the woods. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Louisiana. I ain't from here. So I'm already outnumbered just in general. So I wasn't really trying to, do all that. So after that, we're standing up by the door and we're talking to Lottie's girlfriend. So we're confiding in her. We're like, we're probably finna leave because at this point we like, it's getting too weird. Like, we're gonna go on about our way. We're gonna get out y'all way. So Lottie's girlfriend is like, why are y'all leaving? What would Lottie do? So basically persuading us into staying. So we like, damn, like you kind of make us feel bad or want to leave. So of course we like, you know what? We gonna stay. Fuck it. We ain't gonna let nobody run us off. We gonna stay. So at this point, everybody's coming up to us. All y'all, the girls from Houston, we heard so much about y'all. Like, everyone's like basically making us feel welcome, except for the mom and the sisters, of course. At this point, we were scared to even eat because it was word around that she said that we couldn't even eat the food, her food that she paid for. You know what I'm saying? So it was like, damn, like, should we get in line to get a plate or is she going to put us on Front Street? As we continue to talk to Lottie's girlfriend, we see Lottie's mom walking up. Yeah. Coming if you want part 3. Okay, y'all, so this is part 3 of the story. I'm gonna try to make this the last part. So the mom walks over and she's basically telling Lottie's girlfriend, like, it's time to eat. I'm gonna fix your plate. Basically, like, come on. So the girlfriend is basically like, I ain't hungry. Like, I'm talking like I'll basically come eat when I'm ready. The mom then leaves and she goes into a little huddle with her 2 daughters, which are Lottie's sisters, and then they start walking towards us. It's no coincidence that just happened, and now, you know what I'm saying? Like, come on now. So the sisters come, and they asking Lottie's girlfriend, they like, you good? Like, why wouldn't she be good? Like, am I tripping? Like, she like, you good? Like, so Lottie's girlfriend like, yeah, I'm good. So Lottie's sister on some shit like, even if you're not good, I'm about to post up right here. She posts up against the wall and she mugging us. Mind you, I'm still not knowing what the problem is. Like, we don't know what's the issue. It couldn't have been because of the viewing, because she didn't even show up. You know what I'm saying? It couldn't have been because we were at a hookah lounge, because they had been partying all week. So we really still to this day don't know what the initial problem was. We can just only assume that it was out of jealousy, hatred, envy. Like, it was something, because we really wholeheartedly didn't do nothing to them, and we had just met them. So there's no real reason of why we would be into it. We had never had words prior, so it was all new. Like, it all just didn't make sense. So after she said all of that, posted up or whatever, I left. I told them, I'm like, I'm about to go into the actual, like, cafeteria part was where the decorations and everything was. We were at the hallway at that point. So I'm like, I'm about to go in, go sit down, and I'm about to go take a shot of something. Because mind you, we were still, I wouldn't say we didn't feel wanted. It was kind of like we were being pulled, because the dad then wanted us there, the brothers wanted us there, the aunties wanted us there. They were like coming up to us, introducing themselves, you know what I'm saying? And then the other part was like the sisters was mugging us, the mom was being weird. It was just like, it was a pull. So like, it wasn't like we just showed up uninvited, because they were the ones reaching out to us. We end up going inside to go find us a table. Majority of the tables are taken, but we end up getting into this one table where her sister-in-law, her brother, and everyone started coming over taking shots. It seemed like everybody we talked to, one of the sisters would come grab them. Like, if we was talking to John, they'll be like, John, come here, grab him, pull him away, and we won't see John again. So I don't know if it was like they were trying to recruit people to like not mess with us. Like, I don't know. It was all weird, and it all felt like a Lifetime movie. Like, one thing about me, I peep everything, especially when I'm in a setting where I don't know many people, or I don't know where I'm at for real. Like, I'm in Detroit. You feel me? Like, I'm in y'all shit. So I'm a little more observant. I'm watching my bag. I'm drinking, but I'm not really drinking. I'm trying to pay attention, because I really don't know these people like that. I just know my friend, and I know my friend was a very genuine person. She was very loving. So I kind of like expected that coming from her family, but it was definitely the total opposite, because she had definitely warned us about them prior, but we had never met them, so why judge a book by its cover? But it was like, when we got there, it was like, yeah, she was not lying. We ended up seeing her esthetician friends. They were there, and they actually confided in us, and they were telling us, we heard a lot of great things about y'all. She always talked about y'all. She always wanted to come back to Houston. She was planning on moving back as soon as she graduated. Like, it made us feel good, because it's like, damn, you talked about us. So I'm telling her esthetician friends, I'm like, y'all come over, join us, come take a shot with us. So we all drinking, we having a good time. At this point, we hadn't forgot all that happened. We like genuinely like sharing stories, laughing, taking shots. Long live Lottie. We toasting, and we let them go on their side of the room. We had isolated ourselves, which it shouldn't be like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, we had a repast. Let's all just get along, but we just had to separate ourselves so that we could have a good time. So they was on one side, we was on one side. We hadn't zoned them out, and we just started, having a good time. But they would always find their way by us, like doing little things, nitpicking. And so it just got to a point. It was just like, you know, what's up? What's really up? Like, my friend Kiara really had to tell me, like, Key, like, you've been doing so good, because anybody that know me know I would have been said something. I would have been popped off. But one thing about me, I don't care where you from, but like I tell everybody, it ain't where you from, it's about where you at. So I know I ain't scary. I know I'm really like that in real life. I know I'll fight anybody, but it was like a time and a place, and I just wanted to choose my battles wisely. I already know I feel like I'm outnumbered. I'm in Detroit. I'm not from here. I can't call nobody to pull up real quick. So I really was trying to think smart. So at this point, the liquor hadn't got in everybody's system. It comes to the end of the night. Everybody's about to pack up and leave, you know, get their last plates or whatever, get their decorations, their treats, whatever the case may have been. So we're sitting there. I'm actually waiting on everyone to get their things so that we can leave. Jaden is talking to Lottie's girlfriend at this moment, and I see the big sister, and you can just tell, like, she's one of those girls that think they're a bully. I see her walking towards them, and like I said, all night they have been grabbing people away when they talk to us. So I'm knowing her motive. Like, I'm watching her, you know, I'm watching Jada and I'm watching her. Like, I'm trying to see what's been transpire, because it's like this time she walking like she had a motive. In the midst of me looking, she proceeds to ask me, this is the big sister, she asks me, do you have something you want to say? I don't know why. I don't know why God put me to the test like that. I don't know why God, you know, chose for her to say something to me out of all people, out of all night. me, out of all people. So once she said that, I said, yes, bitch, I do. I do. Cause what's up? Like, what? Cause at this point, I'm tired. I'm grieving just like y'all grieving. I'm upset. I didn't spend all my money. I ain't gonna say all my money, but I didn't spend, like, you know, it costs to travel. I didn't spend my money to come down here, and this how y'all treating us. Y'all hospitality is at a zero. Y'all rude as a motherfucker. Y'all ain't making nobody feel welcoming. Like, I just was like fed up. Like, I was fed the fuck up. And yeah, I told her, yeah, bitch, I do. So she started like charging me, like, you know, like, what's up? So that's how you know. I feel like, yeah, that's how you know that been on your mind. Like, you've been feeling like that, because you ain't have to ask me that. You could have just been like, you know, it's the way you come at people. It's all about delivery. You get smart with me, I'm getting smart with you. You respect me, I'm gonna respect you. It's all about delivery, how you talk to people. You don't talk to people like that. You know where the fuck I'm from, how crazy I am. So of course she big. For one, she big. For two, after I seen her coming towards me, I see the sister, I see the mama, I just started seeing people I don't know charging me. So of course I'm in defense mode, like, you know, what's up? I kick off my shoes, take off my purse, start wrapping my hair, like, what's up? Because I'm with all that shit. I don't give a fuck where y'all from, and I'm sure y'all don't give a fuck where I'm from, but we finna bang it out today. So they started charging me or whatever, and I mean, at this point, she's either swing or get swung. Like, shit, she big. It's like 4-5 and them charging me. What shit, hell yeah, I was swinging first. It is what it is. At this point, Kiara, Jane, and Tyann don't even know what's going on. Like, they not even knowing what's going on. Like, it took them a minute to catch on. Mind you, all of them are charging me. I'm throwing my set, I'm bagging up. I'm like, what's up? I ain't bagging down from nobody. All you hoes can get it. I know I said I wanted to make this the last part, but we can do one more part in here. So comment if you want the last part. In conclusion. Okay, y'all, so this is the last part of the story. After this, I'm going to go live and answer any, like, instant questions y'all want to ask. So after that, I basically swung first, and they jumped me. They said allegedly, I don't know how true this is, because they had footage, but they just don't want to get the footage up. So from the other friends' point of view, you know, the other people that were not fighting, and, you know, the people that were there trying to break it up said that, you know, when I hit them, you know, they all jumped me. The mom came from behind, choked me around my neck, brung me down to the ground. They started jumping me. At this point, Tyann, Jada, and Kiara, that's one person that I know that's gonna have my back through whatever. So I know she wasn't too far. And me, like I said in the beginning of the story, me, Kiara, and Lottie were a trio. So I know they were like kind of like aiming for us for some reason. So they instantly started jumping Kiara as well, dudes and all, hitting her. At this point, the person that owns the building hadn't grabbed me and took me down the hallway. I'm steady trying to run back in there to Kiara because they're like, they're jumping her. I'm trying to run back, but I can't break through a man, so he would not let me go by. They hadn't started jumping on Tyann. The mom hadn't started choking one of them, jumping on Jaden. Like, y'all, it was a mess. Like, they jumped us. And honestly, I expected it, honestly. Once I seen how they were charging me, I expected to get jumped. I've been jumped before, so, you know, it wasn't rocket science. You would have thought the mom would have tried to defuse the situation, but she was just as in on it as they were. She couldn't wait to hit us. All this happened after the dad left, though, so it was kind of weird. Like, damn, maybe we should have left when he left. When I say everybody jumped us, even Lottie's girlfriend jumped us. Mind you, she was the one that we were talking to earlier. It's all so weird. Like, I just don't know. Like, I know people are like, well, damn, something's missing. Or, you know, like, no, like, I wish that I was lying. Like, why would I fly thousands of miles to get jumped by my friend's family? I really cannot tell y'all why they wanted to fight us so bad. But like the other family member said, jealousy. They were really mad that Lottie had built a family outside of their family. She really didn't mess with them like that. So that was another thing. Like, how y'all treated her when she was alive is like eating y'all up. Guilty speaks. I really cannot sit and think of anything that, you know, could have really made them so angry to where they wanted to beat us like that. Maybe they knew that Lottie confided in us about the things that were going on in the household. Like, I really cannot just tell y'all why. But it's crazy because after that, you know, the dad called us. He apologized on their behalf. The auntie called and apologized and was like, you guys are so sweet. Her esthetician friends, they were breaking it up. They text us, and I will drop the text of what they said as well. This is what one of her esthetician friends texted us. It's crazy because everyone that called and apologized and checked on us was saying that that's exactly how they are. They're jealous. And all I kept asking the big sister after our fight, I was like, don't you stay in Houston? Because she stays in Houston. Why would you ever think that God is going to let you slide with that? And you stay in Houston. You have to go back to Houston. I stay in Houston too. We will cross paths. Like, come on now. Y'all outnumbered us. Niggas and all. You don't think we're going to get that get back? God's timing is going to be the right time. And that's all I'm waiting on. We haven't spoke on this in months. This happened months ago. But shit, is really nothing more to it. They jumped us. People broke it up. We went back to the hotel. And we caught our flight back to our motherfucking state. I know me. And I know I'll dance for anybody. But as much as I wanted to pull up and literally do it, like do it with them, I had to think smart. I was so pissed off. Like, I really, like, I was on it. But it was like, come on, Key. Like, you ain't got nobody out here. Like, why would you put yourself in that water to get jumped again? We gonna cross paths. After the fight, they were calling us, texting us and shit like that. The mom like, oh, she's prettier than us. She has a better body than us. So it's just like, just from her just talking like that after the fight just goes to show, like, you looked at this shit as some kind of competition. Like, girl, you her mom. Like, we want to respect you. We want to give you some love. We want to give you your flowers. But you acting like you a teenager, like you childish as fuck. So we can't fuck with you. We can't fuck with that. And if God forbid the day that we ever cross paths again, she gonna get that. She has to get that. It's just no way she's not going to get that. I would never forget that in my life. Like, that's just something I would never forget. I would never forget that. We just felt so defeated. Like, our backs was against the wall. Like, all our family is either in Houston or Louisiana, or like, we don't know nobody out here in Detroit. We can't call our friends out here in Detroit. Like, we felt defeated. I can honestly say that's probably one time I didn't feel defeated. Like, one thing about me, I fight and I get out there with anybody, but that time I can honestly say I felt so defeated and so outnumbered, and I just felt like, I gotta get the fuck up out of here. Like, and I one thing about it, I'm a real ass bitch. I'm gonna keep it real. Like, they jumped the fuck out of us. Now, mind you, they didn't leave no scratches, no black eyes, no nothing. Nobody was bloody. Like, we all was good, but they jumped us. Like, they put BTA, belt to ass, but no war wounds though. Like, they wasn't hitting hard, but they jumped us, like, for sure. But it's cool. It's cool because God said high and look low, and God don't play by me. So we'll meet again, and I can't wait till that day.
Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this story time, please like, comment, and subscribe.